Hello, everyone. Good day. Heather Ash here. I'm at my friend Bo's house, and we are broadcasting about the anti-resolution challenge that started today. So we're streaming live on Facebook, on a couple different platforms. So hello from wherever you are tuning in. Hey, Dan. Good morning, Doe. And also on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And hello to those of you that are watching the recording later. These broadcasts, I'm doing broadcasts every day for the next 7 days to share about the anti-resolution challenge, to connect in with everyone. Hey, Sakina. I've been a little bit of a recluse the last 3 months. I've been navigating COVID, and so I haven't been on social media that much, but I feel very excited to be back and to be connecting with everyone. Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Hi, Heather. Yay. Hooray for day one. Hey, Lorena, good to see everyone. And day one of our anti-resolution challenge. If you haven't joined the challenge, I'm about to share the link. Boop. It is, there we go, anti-resolutionchallenge.com. It's free, 7 days of a little video, so you can join anytime. Yeah. And day one is all about kind of an introduction, and also we're going to explore the difference between a judgment and discernment. So my intent with the anti-resolution challenge is to help all of us, me included, yay, hey Tiffany, is step into 2023 in a mindful way and to let go of this old idea that we often have associated with the new year of making resolutions, because so often resolutions come from our judge, our need to be perfect, and they don't usually last. So instead, through the anti-resolution challenge, we're exploring how to be in relationship with transformation and ourselves in a way that's more connected to deep respect, to discerning what we need rather than judging ourselves forward to be better humans, and to also learning how to be vulnerable with ourselves, how to settle in with a deeper relationship with ourselves. So again, if you haven't joined the Anti-Resolution Challenge, it's free. We start today, but you can join anytime, antiresolutionchallenge.com. I'm at my friend Bo's house up in Hunter, New York. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day here, and Bo just brought me to see her old family homestead and the Ukrainian church up here. Lots of Ukrainian families came here and continue to live here, so it just feels like I'm in the old country, and I'm really grateful. I just had borscht, and we're about to have more traditional meals. Hi, Donna. So yeah, I am also really excited to be doing the anti-resolution challenge. It was one of those things last year that we did the anti-resolution challenge for the first time in 2022, and it was so impactful for so many people that we decided we must do it again. And so here we are, 2023 anti-resolution challenge, and our day one exploration is around what is the difference between judgment and discernment, and how do we guide ourselves forward from a place of unconditional respect, love, appreciation, growing ourselves, nurturing ourselves, supporting ourselves, rather than trying to push and force ourselves to be better people, which doesn't work. So I love discernment. Such a good word. Judgment is, hi Janice, hi Laura. Bo, there's so many people that are saying hello to you right now. Hi. Bo says hi to everybody. It's great. She's working. She's cooking. It's great. Hey, Valerie. Yeah, so let's talk about judgment first, which we're often, unfortunately, so familiar with. So judgment is a way that we keep ourselves safe by judging ourselves or other people. And the weird way that our mind works sometimes around judgment is if I judge myself first, I can somehow avoid being judged or abandoned or betrayed by other people. So somehow, if I use judgment to try and fix, change, modify my behavior, that I can be okay. And that often we judge ourselves first before try to judge ourselves first before other people, or before we can allow other people to judge us. Or we spend all of our time judging others. And if you're judging others, you're judging yourself as well. Like, they go together. So, but it's really familiar. And I remember when I first started doing this work with Don Miguel, I was really, really blessed to study and apprentice for many years with Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of the Four Agreements, and many other books. And I remember when I first started hearing Miguel talk about this idea of judgment, of not judging ourselves, I could barely even conceive of what he was talking about, because I was so swimming in, that was the way that I talked to myself. I talked to myself in a very judgmental way. I had a really big perfectionist streak, and my being had decided basically that if I could be what other people wanted me to be, then I would somehow be safe. And I used judgment as my way to try and do that. It didn't go well, as you can imagine. Hey, Maureen, good to see you. Costa Rica. I love it. Hey, Paula from England, glad you're here. So judgment then has an energy attached to it. It has a punishment, a form of punishment attached to it. So when we judge, there's a story behind the judgment often. There's a feeling sense of good, bad, right, wrong. And that it feels like easy because it's familiar. It's familiar to judge ourselves. It's familiar to judge others. And the flip side of judgment is feeling victimized or victimizing others. Okay, those are really two of the same things. What we want to be gently nudging ourselves towards is discernment. And discernment is a very, that's not the right word. It's about using our awareness in such a way that we're discerning, we're listening for what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And we don't have to create, that's a bad thing, I should be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this, other people should always be doing it this way, I should never be doing it this way. We move away from the good, bad, right, wrong, it has to be this way, it can never be this way, and instead open into what works for me now. That's discernment. There isn't a story behind it. There isn't a need to justify. There is simply a choice based on the information that you have. When you're discerning, you can easily make boundaries without needing to make the other person wrong or without holding the whole story. When you're discerning, you can also make boundaries with yourself, with the way that your mind tries to run off and make up all sorts of stories or go into anxiety. We can discern and be like, oh no, little mind, we're coming back into the present. And we don't have to punish ourselves in order to take action. Doesn't that sound yummy? So discerning, it's a form of witnessing and making choices based on the information that we have. And there's also willingness to be wrong and to learn and try again. Okay. So day one of the Anti-Resolution Challenge, welcome everyone to 2023, a new year. And part of how I love stepping into new years is not to make a list of resolutions, but to look at what are the old patterns, the underlying beliefs and agreements and habits that I have that aren't serving me, to discern what those are, just to learn and continue to witness what is not working, what I want to shift. And then from that discernment to then make new choices. And so what we're doing in the Anti-Resolution Challenge, today's day one. And if you haven't joined us, whether you're brand new and you have no idea who I am, hi, I'm Heather Ash. I'm the author of a book called Warrior Goddess Training and 8 or so other books. Or you've been following along for decades, you're so welcome to join. It's at antiresolutionchallenge.com. I'm going to share that. Not that. What is that? Antiresolutionchallenge.com. There's the link again. You can join at any time. And once you join, the moment you join, you'll get a little video for the day, and you'll have access to all the previous day's videos as well, which is why you can join anytime. And day one today, we're exploring the ways that we hold strategies that don't serve us. So, hi, Iva. Thanks for letting me know the assessment link didn't work. I will email my team and we'll get it fixed. So thanks for letting me know. The 4 strategies are isolating, controlling, pleasing, and discerning in no particular order. Yay, I'm warming up. I'm so excited. And those strategies are places that we go into a familiar pattern in response to stress or unease or when we don't feel safe. Controllers try to fix, manipulate, make it right. Pleasers try to make everyone else feel good and happy. Isolators tend to remove themselves or disappear energetically. Distractors tend to make jokes, change the topic, go do things that are distracting so that they don't have to feel. And all of these are ways that we create a sense of safety, although it's a false sense of safety, and try to manage what feels unmanageable. And so when we discern what our main strategy is, when we start learning about these strategies and also how they're connected to the ways that we can respond to stress or challenges in our body, which is, you'll probably recognize these: fight, flight, flee, and there's a 4th one now called fawn. Those are also connected to the strategies. So yeah, the 4 strategies, and this is from my book, Warrior Goddess Training. The 4 strategies are isolator, in no particular order: isolator, controller, pleaser, and distractor. Okay. If you haven't joined the Anti-Resolution Challenge, I talk more about that, and there's an assessment link as well, which will get the link fixed so that you can go there and learn more about the strategies and how they're also connected to these 4 ways that our body can react to stress or trauma: fight, flee, freeze, and the 4th one is fawn, which is more new. So go learn more on the Anti-Resolution Challenge, day 1. Let me just go back. I love Doreen. Hi, Doe. Actually learned discernment from you. I really need to hear this today. Good. I'm glad. Brittany. Yeah, I find it so difficult not to judge when others aren't discerning properly. But who decided if they're discerning properly or not? Maybe they're discerning perfectly for them. Here's the truth. We don't really know what's their life, their experience. So it's hard, but it's also an incredible gift when we let other people live their lives, even if we don't agree with it. They have a choice. Brittany, there's either a service to self path or service to others path, though neither is good or bad. It's how we think of them. I find it's hard not to judge when others haven't realized this yet. Brittany, I would wonder if you're putting onto what other people, how they should be, because service to self or service to others is an either or. What if it's both? What if there's a 3rd way that you haven't thought about? So I would question and be more curious about your way of holding what other people should be doing and how things are. And other people are on their own timing. You know, I used to get really frustrated with people as well, especially when I could see what I felt like they were doing wrong, or I felt like if they just made this other choice, they wouldn't have so much suffering. And I remember the day that flipped, I had a friend who had gotten into a relationship, and I was just like, this relationship is such bad news. And I felt really judgmental around what was about to, and I could just see the pathway. And I stopped myself and I said, okay, what would discernment look like in this moment instead of judgment? And when I stepped back and looked at it, I realized she was in her own life learning lessons she needed to learn. Who was I to decide what the lessons should be or what they should look like? My discernment might say, that doesn't look like a great path, and that's definitely not my path. But it allowed me to, instead of judging her for where she was going, just love her and support her in her choices. And then I was then totally available. When it did fall apart, I was then totally loving. I didn't have, you shouldn't have had that experience. I can't believe you did this. I was just like, hi, I'm here. What'd you learn? From love. And this is what, for me, the anti-resolution challenge is about, is us learning how to be more unconditional in our loving with ourselves and with others, which doesn't mean we don't make boundaries or we don't share our opinion, but we're doing it from a very different place. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. All right, scrolling through. Melissa, I was talking with my oldest sister about this yesterday and this morning with my best friend. Good. I love that, Melissa. I don't agree, Brittany. I appreciate your strength of conviction around it's either or, balancing masculine or feminine, but I really see that there isn't either or. There is a lot of gray and a lot of choices, and that the masculine feminine is not black and white, that there is a lot of dance in between all of it. Yeah. Laura writes, learning not to fix has been a game changer for me. It's huge and not easy. Really appreciate your sharing. I'm very much aligned and appreciate your clarity. Behind it all is a compassionate approach. This is essential in the context of empathy. This is so much larger than judgmental myopathy. Yeah, exactly. Slow and steady. And, here's the thing. Day one, anti-resolution challenge, what I support all of us in doing is being compassionate in relationship to what's my strategy, where do I tend to go around controlling, pleasing, isolating, and distracting, and what happens in my body around freezing, fighting, fawning, or fleeing. And we'll talk more about how those are connected as we go through the anti-resolution challenge. And to bring in a lot of compassion for ourselves and for everyone on this journey, that we're learning at our own pace. And through the anti-resolution challenge, we're going to do bite-sized pieces so you can learn more about yourself and untangle what you've learned that doesn't serve you slowly each day. So antiresolutionchallenge.com. Again, a lot of the teachings that I'm bringing are from Warrior Goddess Training, my book Warrior Goddess Training, but also life experience and all sorts of other things as well. So join along. I'll be live again tomorrow at the same time on all the channels, and hope to see you then. And you can also listen to all the recordings later. And the anti-resolution challenge is self-paced, so you can listen to those videos at any time and also go back and watch and listen to them later as well. Blessed, blessed day to you. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for day 2 of our anti-resolution challenge. Yay! antiresolutionchallenge.com. Again, 7 little videos that come out every day for the next 7 days, January 11th through the 17th. And we'll do a bigger closing on the 17th. Take good care. Bye-bye. Yeah, I think that's so true. Very easy to be discerning with other people, but much harder not to judge. That is true. And we'll learn how to be discerning with ourselves. It's a skill and one that we get to practice. Much love. Bye, sweets.